as you play. Okay, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for letting me come back and do a bit more. I've got 4 poems I'd like to share with you tonight, and they are based on 4 different relationships that I've had in my life. The first one is about when I was 14 and I went to France on a French exchange. I met someone there, and it's called French Lessons. "Let's go swimming," you said, in an accent that tasted like rain on my tongue. I was a child reeling from its first steps. I was a fish out of its world, gasping for home. I was overwhelmed. As a blind dog when they discover brow blood, so your voice transported me out of my half-life. You had everything I wanted. Long hair, beautiful voice, and a grey ass in jeans. My school uniform hung on my skinny frame like a wet sheet left out after a storm. As I stood dripping my shame into the puddle at my feet, you would flick your hair out of your eyes with a move so male-like. I longed to help that hair with my trembling fingers find its place of rest. My body was so ugly to me. I longed for an out-of-body experience, and while out I could jump into another. Water would repel me like a child does a pillow that smothers it. "So I have a cold," I said, trying feebly to sound bunged up and adding a little cough at the end for authenticity. When did I learn to despise how I looked, how I sounded? My stuttering gunfire attempts at communication left my classmates howling like baying wolves at the kill. I would force my eyes open at night in case the black hole in my life might just swallow me up as I slept. I'd see shadows dance into sight, asleep engulf me, and I would flail about, gasping for the air that would return me to the awake night. Mummy said, "Don't touch yourself there, it's dirty." And every night, dirted and hurted, I squirted my pain all over myself. Parents raised voices meant danger, and I at the very top stair, strained in despair at how one person can so hurt another person. Keep still, keep quiet, keep where you belong, away from life, on the knife edge, where all is chaos, all is seen and heard. And so to Paris and Yannick, the hair flickerer, who would host this empty vessel into which I would allow the inpourings of any kindness. So bereft was I of human contact and so aware of how lonely one can be within one's own family. You had a sister who scared me to death. She was 12 and smoked like a man. Offering me a puff, this puff declined her kind but forbidden offer. "You must be gay," she snorted, and extorted the ciggy from out of my virgin fingers, and with blue smoke in my face she blew away my cover. And I sat exposed before her like a newborn calf in a straw. You and I drank coffee out of bowls, and in broken Frenglish tried to find a thread that would wed us in some way, in any way, to one another. French to English, boy to boy, heart to heart, breath to breath, fingers to hair. The cage inside my chest housed a pair of fighting dogs, my heart, and I'd like to think yours as well. We sparred, teased, feigned defeat, only to meet again, beating with the thrill of the ride. The ride inside where I lied and would hide all my deepest longings behind broken English small talk of exams and girls and ooh la la. I bought a beret, but of course would never wear it. I blocked your loo with days of backed up fear that exploded one day in a torrent of sheer release that my heart could only dream of. I stood and stared and marvelled just a bit at how at 14 I was so full of shit. In Paris windows I tried to find a reflection I could recognise. In the eyes of others I would try and see a semblance of an identity which foretold of a future in which I figured. 30 years on, I think I like this boy man who can now look into puddles and does not recoil at this square-pegged rough edges. It was the round hole that was wrong, not my place in it. I watched you cry, knowing that I was the cause of those tears, yet helpless to soothe and unable to prove how much we both longed to come home. I often wonder where you are and how far you have journeyed. You fanned the flame that was to blame for all that I was, for all that I am, and for all that I will become. Thank you. who has managed to go through his whole life showing absolutely no emotion at all. Which isn't easy to do, and it's called It's Okay, Dad. I wish I could know who you are, what makes you tick and laugh and cry, so that I could feel closer, more like a son and a stranger in your heart. My childhood days were torn apart waiting for love from you. Standing in my doorway with no embrace, my sister got more than a taste of your love. Where were you when I cried in the night, waking with fright at some imaginary foe, chasing me down corridors of woe, which I still visit? It's okay, Dad, to be glad for me when I do well at school. It's okay to see you crying with your mother dying of cancer and hate the way she did. It's okay to feel and let yourself reel from the brutality that was your story. You can't read or write, and so you might have thought I didn't love you for that, but as your lips moved over words you'd never seen, I saw in you the child that you'd be. How far gone is the giant I feared, from your fist to my face, to the frail race of man you now are? I learned from you how not to be, and I can cry for all the world to see. I see your face every time I shave. We are one man, one life, one brave soul, doing what we do to connect to the whole of who we are. So it's okay, Dad, that you have refused to open to me a heart so bruised. But when time and softness and temperance came, I see now that we are just the same. I was always there by your side, that son I know you can't abide. But now I stand, happy to say, for all that you are, Dad, it's okay. Thank you.